Bo Weber, the original webhead.
Hi, what's going on, webheads? It's your buddy, Bo Weber, the original webhead. I'm going to be talking about Gamersgate and how it's to do with games and how Gamersgate is not a game. In a world where video games are controlled by the patriarchy, which I define as a male-dominated society, and the matriarchy, which is a failed female-dominated society like bonobos, and if you think there's no such thing as a matriarchy, what you're saying is that women are too weak or too stupid to organize, and that is sexist. And or downright false. Women create large organizations in society, ruled by women. Women can do everything men can, and that includes oppressing an entire gender, and saying they can't is technically sexist. If you're going to open the gate to Gamersgate, you have to get to know the gamer girl, Anita Sarkeesian. She's a gamer who's been gaming for a long time.
Now, I've been playing video games since I was about 5 years old.
She's not really a fan of video games.
Except I'm doing video games. So it's not exactly a fandom. I'm not a fan of video games. I actually had to learn a lot about video games in the process of making this.
She's not a fan of games. She doesn't like them, she doesn't have much experience with them. But she's also a gamer with experience and a fan of the games.
I love games. I'm a fan of games. I'm a gamer and I enjoy games.
She is, but she isn't. She's the best of both worlds. Therefore, she's the perfect person to critically analyze games.
I've been a fan of the Mario and Zelda franchises for most of my life, and they'll always have a special place in my heart.
She's a fan of Mario and Zelda. She's a fan of hobbits and Mexican. Anita has a well-rounded, multifaceted perspective on games that makes her capable of drawing conclusions based on the data of using just her observations. And that is the connection of video game violence and actual violence. That is how good she is. Anita doesn't need stuff like objective data. Objective data is actually a biased distraction if you factor in the power of instincts. Some critics have said the numbers don't lie. In this case, the numbers do lie. Video game violence goes up while statistical violence goes down. Actual data on this differs and therefore must be falsifiably incorrect. These gamers are all males objectifying women and causing violence. In fact, I don't think there was much violence before video games were in the world. The term only goes back to... because there wasn't ever much violence before video games. People all loved each other. The games are too masculine. Masculinity is from the term masculinos, which translates from the Latin mass, Greek, killing. Anita Sarkeesian is a feminist. She supports women's rights. She's a Meninist. She supports men's rights, I think. People who support both should be called equalitarians or something, but aren't because of the matriarchy that wants to be called feminism. And us men have no say-so, so we just have to accept it. She's not a bad guy. She can't be a bad guy. She's a girl. And that would be sexist to call her a guy. She's a girl, so that means she's good. So what if she's got a relaxed bitch face? So what? You don't know what she's been through, so don't judge my girl Anita, okay? Leave her alone. Too many gamers criticize her, and that's not okay. You can't just criticize someone's opinion like that. If someone says something bad about men playing video games, you can't disagree with it because that's harassment, okay? A lot of people think it's okay to criticize Anita so much that she's had to disable the comment section on YouTube. Those people need to realize that criticism is harassment. Women shouldn't have to hear men disagree with them because it's harassment. There are too many shitlords out there online, and the internet needs to apologize. Unfortunately, we live in a society where people look up to people who have mistreated women. Society prefers it when men mistreat women and actions have always spoken for themselves, because we don't want to include them in our masculine activities. Men have been trying to stop women from playing video games with the power and place of the male-dominated patriarchal hierarchy. And men know this. I even try to keep women from playing video games. Anita has built a great Feminist Frequency series to bring up her KickStarter campaign that raised almost $160,000 feminist dollars for Feminist Frequency to promote feminist freedom in video games because the video game market was overwhelmed with the male ideology. Her work isn't done. There's a lot of sexism in toys that needs to be beaten like a dead horse. That's why I'm announcing a new web series, Meninist Magnitude, a friend of Feminist Frequency that will aid Feminist Frequency in fighting sexism. To point out every freaking flaw in popular female toys in reference to how they're so sexist towards men.
Everything is sexist, everything is racist, everything is homophobic, and you have to point it all out.
For that, we'll be needing to raise about $160,000 to do it. This series of videos will cover women's games and toys that are sexist. Topics will include sugar daddies, daddies made of sugar, pink power, why is everything pink, subjects objectively subjectifying objects, men being women handled in movies, female teachers raping male students because of sex in television, the female-dominated magazine industry. Men are just unrelatable secondary characters used as background decorations like refrigerators. Feminism versus feminazism. We're all the male plushy stuffed animals. Barbie sizes and ages. Why are they never fat or old? And dollhouses. You can't even fit in them. Where are the life-size blow-up dolls? Where are the action figure dolls? Do you know how rare it is to find action figure dolls like this ginger zombie Ken doll? There's just not enough of them. Meninist Magnitude is not going to just be me preaching my POV or point of view, but the point of view of men and the POV of women. I'll be talking to talking heads with all sorts of webheads from different sides of our website, meninistmagnitude.com, where if we get the funding, we hope to make an interactive forum where you can sign up as a Meninist Magnitude member to become a maggot. And if it all goes well, a Meninist Magnitude magazine for all the maggots out there. As you might imagine, this project will take tons of research and development, a ton of resources. Obviously, the scale and scope of this series is ginormous. Go out there and check out the Gofundme page. Time is money. The more money I have, the more time I'll have to make videos. Go fund me at Gofundme. If you don't want to fund me, that's okay. You can go fund yourself. Maybe I'll get funded, I'll come back, and I'll go back and I'll fund your mom. Does that sound like fun? Just click on the link down in the description below me. It's bad enough that you gotta worry about getting raped in the real world. Now you gotta worry about it in the virtual world too.
Online, they can take your character, lock them in place, have made their character pantsless, and then can simulate sexual assault with your character, and you are helpless to stop it.
Well, thank you very much, Shitty News, for shedding light on a dark issue. It's called Grand Theft Auto, not Grand Theft Rape. Legend of Zelda for the Wii U, where you play as a little hobbit known as Zelda, who journeys across the world of Hyrule, breaking pots and stealing rubies from the rich, keeping for herself with a complete lack of self-control. Armed with a horse and equipped with a pretty bow, where she robs her way to the top and becomes the hero of all time.